Hi, welcome. I'm the Moonchild Medium, and I'm going to be doing a general reading today. We are going to be picking 3 piles, but it's going to be like kind of quick and to the point, because if you've been watching my February series, we have been moving through like some pretty intense energy recently, and springtime is coming. So today's reading is about what we need to release in order to be ready for this new phase that we're moving into in this springtime. And sorry that my house is knocking. It's an old building and the heaters are going right now. Okay, so I'm going to start out by picking the 3 stones for each pile. For pile number 1, we've got, okay, last time, the last couple of videos that I had picked this one, I was calling it lapis lazuli, but then I heard someone else call it lapis lazuli. So if you know how to pronounce it, write it down in the comments so that I can figure it out. So that's what we've got here. And it's in that point. And then for pile number 2, we have the Herkimer diamond. And for pile number 3, we have the Howlite heart. Okay, I promise you, I have way more crystals than these, but for some reason, these are the ones that keep coming up. So these are the energies, I guess, that we're working with right now. So I've picked 3 stones, and then I also want to pick 3 oracle cards. So I'm going to just shuffle real quick to ask what should the collective watching this video be releasing to prepare for the new moon. I mean the new season. Well, there is a new moon coming up, so in the springtime. All right, so for pile number 1, we have it's time to take action. New moon in Aries. For pile number 2, we have balance, spirituality, and practicality with the full moon in Pisces. And for pile number 3, we have the energy is gaining momentum, waxing moon. Okay, so you can choose based on the oracle card, based on the stone, or both. You can also choose, remember, you can choose 1 or more piles. This one is not going to be so much about like relationships or interpersonal relationships as much as it's going to be about what you're releasing. If it has to do with interpersonal relationships, we'll talk about that, but let me go ahead and show you the and I'm going to put the timestamps in the description. Go ahead and check out the one that you feel is right for you. All right, pile number 1, thanks for joining me. If you're here, you chose the lapis lazuli. And the oracle card, the new moon in Aries, about it's time to take action. So I'm going to just read a little bit from the book here. It says, the flame is lit. A wonderful new start beckons, and you're on the right track. Drawing this card is a superbly positive sign if there is something you want to happen in your life. Take this card as a big yes from the universe. This is the time to really tune into your dreams. You may still have a long way to go. After all, Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. But you're on your way. Determination, self-assertion, and bravery are called for, but the hot fire sign of Aries is driving you towards success in whatever endeavor you're asking about. The caution, don't go too fast and forget your manners. Treat people well as you charge towards your goals. You'll create much better karma for yourself. So the advice here is don't even think about giving up. Do your best and be happy with that. Avoid being brash right now. You need a 12-month plan, and a new male is coming into your life. All right, so I think that's really interesting. We have that card coming out because as I'm doing this reading, the next new moon after this, which is, the next major phase of the moon, we just had the last quarter. So the next major phase is going to be the new moon. And that's going to be a new moon in Aries because we just had a new moon in Pisces last. And Aries season is coming up. So that's springtime. It's time to start some new things. That's the astrological start of the year, the astrological new year. So just going to pull a little bit of advice about what it is that you need to let go for the new phase that you're moving into in the springtime. All right, so we've got the 8 of Wands in reverse. I feel like this is about jealousy. And also it's calling you to slow down. You may be moving impulsively right now and need to kind of like pump the brakes on something. What is it that they need to pump the brakes on? Spirit. We've got the Hanged Man in reverse. I feel that you're taking on the stance of the martyr right now. There's like, you're unsure if there's something that you want to leave behind or not. You may be moving a little bit hastily. But here we go. Here's that new male coming into your life, and I feel like this is something that you have been waiting for and really wanting. That's interesting. How's that coming about, Spirit? I feel like seeing things from a different perspective right now is necessary. We have the Ace of Pentacles coming up. There's definitely a big blessing coming your way. So I feel that right now is a time to just like take stock of what's around you, what's happening around you. There's probably someone already like in the vicinity who like is into you like that. And I feel that this is like something that can be really good for you. But it is something that you have to take very, very slowly. You have to pump the brakes on it. All right, anything else you want to tell us today, Spirit? Here we go. We've got the 10 of Cups. This is like a vision that you have for like emotional fulfillment, just like this really, really happy, beautiful life. I do feel like it's being gifted to you. And so that's why it's like important for you to slow down. Let me just get one more, a little bit of clarification. We're going to use the Mermaid Tarot for this to clarify the Rider Waite, just so that I can get a little bit of context. For the 8 of Wands in reverse. Yeah, we've got the 2 of Cups in reverse, meaning that there is someone new coming into your life. It's interesting. I said it wasn't going to be an interpersonal, like, love relationship reading. But this is about releasing what you need to release before the new moon and the new phase and of like spring coming in. So Spirit, can you please give us some clarity on what it is that the person watching pile 1 needs to release, especially regarding this Hanged Man and the 8 of Cups. Interesting that we have the Ace of Pentacles in reverse coming out in this deck. Everything happens in divine timing, and I feel that you've been a little bit impatient about this thing. And you have this like ideal of what it is that you want. But it's like you're moving too quickly to be able to see it. That's what it is. You're moving too quickly to be able to see it. So take your time on this thing. Try not to be too harsh on anyone right now. We've got the Temperance card coming out in reverse. Now is definitely a time to try to find a little bit of balance for yourself. What you're not seeing is that there's like, you have responsibility in this issue. You have a responsibility. You have a part to play. How can they bring this into balance for themselves? Yeah, we've got the 8 of Wands right here. And we've got the 8 of Wands right here. Okay, so this is about slowing things down. But then this is kind of like about speeding things up. So I really feel like there's like something in your life you kind of have to like take like a lot slower while you're working on other things. And this is probably the other things that you're working on are things that are more creative. So this also might just be that you're kind of like obsessing over this like new person coming in a little bit, or you're, you know, there's something regarding the new person. And I feel that this is like on your mind quite a lot. But don't forget to continue your creative pursuits, whatever that means to you. Because those are things that I feel like you're neglecting right now because your mind is kind of somewhere else. So that's what I see here for you. It's like, it's really basically what you're releasing or what you need to let go of at this point in time is like this, the hastiness moving forward. Just, I feel that maybe sometimes you're getting ahead of yourself and you're like seeing steps like 10, like 8, 9, 10 before you started steps 1, 2, 3, that kind of thing. Or, you know, like you may feel like you're a little bit stuck on step 3 and it's hard for you to move on to steps 4 and 5. But I do feel like that is having to do with like this other person that's like been on your mind so much, that, or like, you know, this manifestation of this other person, like you trying to manifest this other person. I do think that has been occupying your mind so much, and the questions that you have about it have been occupying your mind so much that you've kind of come out of balance with the with this like beautiful like dream life that you've been manifesting. Okay, and so the way to get back on track with that is really to like take responsibility for what you are creating and just like keep working on your creations. Okay, so whether you're an artist, a musician, a writer, whether you're like you're starting a business, or like maybe you're even just like, you may be working on like home improvement, just things like that make you happy. Keep working on those things, because that's really important for you right now. And I have a feeling that has something to do with this wonderful new moon card. And as you're working on your responsibilities, all of your other manifestations that you kind of like let yourself forget and put to the back burner, they actually do come to life. So yeah, that's the advice that I have for you today. Want to make sure that you remember to check in with your ancestors and your spirit guides to help you move through this energy as we're approaching the new moon and the new season, the new year. And make sure that if you have not subscribed already, you subscribe so that we can continue to work through this energy together. And if you have subscribed and this resonates with you, please make sure that you like. And I would definitely love to know how this resonates with you. If there's something you want to clarify, or if there's a question you have, or something you want me to pray over, just let me know. I'll be happy to help however I can. So thank you for tuning in, and I will see you at the next reading. Bye. Thanks for joining me, pile 2. If you're here, you chose the Herkimer diamond, which is, I said before, I believe that this is just like a treated crystal, but it represents creativity and being grounded in your creativity, especially this one because of it's got that like little like rock at the bottom basically attached to it. And then we also have the full moon in Pisces, which is balanced spirituality and practicality. Okay, so let's just get into it. I'm going to read from the book about full moon in Pisces. It says, have you been so head in the clouds that you've lost touch with reality? If so, take this card as a sign that you need to pay attention and make a concerted effort to move towards your goals. The more practical steps you can take, the better. It's time to find an inner balance between your responsibilities and your dreams. Meditate on your question, and the solutions to your issue may now come through very clearly. If you're in a tricky situation because you've been acting the martyr, this card will be a message from the cosmos to drop the act for everyone's sake. Then the advice here is meditate every day and see what comes to you. Answers will come. You're in a super romantic but not super realistic state. Follow your intuition. It won't let you down. At worst, this card can herald the end of a dream. The person you're inquiring about is a soulmate, and avoid substance abuse. All right, so we're going to get a little bit of clarity on that. I'm going to just shuffle these cards real quick, and we're going to ask about, what it is that you're releasing. We just had a full moon, we had the last moon was this, like a couple days ago, and then the full moon was the major like moon phase before that, and that one was pretty powerful. That one may have actually been in Pisces. So we're asking now Spirit about what it is that pile 2 should be releasing as we're moving into this new moon and new year. All right. What? We have the Hierophant and the High Priestess. This is significant. This is significant. So I do feel that you're in a very, very like spiritual mindset. You are a very intuitive person, but as the full moon in Pisces card did say, what you're needing to release is, this over spirituality. You're definitely being maybe a little bit dogmatic, and holding on to, like, you may be somebody who kind of like judges people for their expression of spirituality. And you may be someone who kind of like, I hate to say it, but like feels a little bit superior to other people because you may have like some, very special like intuitive gifts. But there's like a need to be like a little bit more humble and realistic and grounded. We've got the Strength card. This is a reminder that strength comes in many different forms. And if you've been here on my channel before, you've heard me talking about gentle strength. I feel that maybe you have been like trying to attack a problem head on, or attack a conversation head on, or just like, yeah, I feel that you've maybe like gone a little bit hard for or towards something having to do with like feeling that you're very spiritual, and I feel that that's backfiring on you right now. Yeah, I feel like you feel that you're like in a very down point, like a downward, I don't want to say downward spiral, but I do feel like that's how you feel. We do have the Knight of Cups here. There's definitely a messenger vibe coming in. I feel that you have been maybe missing some signs when it comes to the messages that you're receiving from spirit or from your dreams, or maybe there's a little bit of misinterpretation of the message. King of Swords. There is a feeling of, I believe, of superiority going on here, because you are such a discerning person. I think you pick up on things that people do a lot, and that you trust in your own perception of them, but that there's like a little bit of a misunderstanding of who they are, and yeah, so I feel also that, like, you know, some of you may be here inquiring about a person who, like, you know, the full moon in Pisces card mentioned that, like, yes, they are a soulmate. And so if that's you and that's what you came here to ask, I do see you as being someone who is the more like intuitive, or maybe it's either one of you, but like basically it would be that both of you are very spiritual people. One is like a very intuitive person, like the High Priestess energy, like more like a medium, someone who communicates with spirits, somebody who is in line with the cycles of the moon and the cycles of nature. Some might call her even a witch. And the other is like the Hierophant, a little bit more dogmatic, somebody who like is very in touch with the ancestors, has a lot of ancestral knowledge and shares that with people, is both a scholar of spirituality, but also a teacher of it. Somebody who is also very connected to spirit themselves. And now I do say the High Priestess and the Hierophant is, I'm calling them she and he, but as I've said before in my other readings on this channel, that's not really meant to be gendered. It's more about like somebody who is like more in an attracting energy, and somebody who is more in like a action, attraction versus action. So yeah, so there's a few things going on here, but right now it's not looking too good, I think, for you, which is why you're here today in this reading. And I think that you're hoping for some sort of message or reconciliation of some sort. And let's actually get some clarification from the Mermaid Tarot deck about what I have here. There's definitely like I am right now seeing a need for discernment, and to be less forceful about something. Okay. Please clarify the High Priestess and the Hierophants. We've got the Hanged Man. This is a need to see something from a different perspective. So maybe even seeing something from someone else's side, like putting yourself in their shoes. But also could just be asking you to see it from, if you're like being a little bit overly spiritual, to like try to see things from a less, like a more physical or material lens. And vice versa. If you're having difficulty with your spirituality for some reason, make sure that you're taking a look at that spiritual aspect of yourself. But I do feel that you're very in touch with yourself. So there's definitely just a need to see things from a different perspective. And since we have the Strength card here as well, in reverse, I feel that like the way that you're approaching this situation that you need to analyze that. Please clarify the Wheel of Fortune. All right, we've got the Six of Swords. Something is moving very quickly. Something is changing very quickly. And the Knight of Cups. Queen of Pentacles. A lot of abundance here. Luxury, opulence. I feel that this is like somebody who wants to give you a lot. I feel that you want to give yourself a lot. And that the moves that you're making right now are actually leading you there. Oh, interesting. I passed this. We have the Nine of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups in reverse. Interesting that we have two nines back to back. 9 is a very intuitive and spiritual number. Nine of Pentacles is a very abundant energy. There's a lot of abundance, winning, luxury in that energy as well as in the Queen of Pentacles. And then in the Nine of Cups in reverse, I feel that this is like in some way you're giving away your power. And I do think that it has to do with this Pisces, full moon in Pisces card. I feel that it's like giving up your power is romanticizing the situation a little bit too much. But there is a promise here that with all of the work that you're doing right now, that it is actually fruitful for you. We have the King of Wands. We have so much masculine energy in this. So I really feel that there's like, you're working on some things that are like maybe more on the creative side, maybe more on the emotional side. Maybe you're doing a lot more shadow work that's actually like working out for you, or like even inner child work. And so I feel that there's like this, you're in somewhat of a creative energy right now, and the way to keep your head above water is actually to communicate with your higher self. I'm feeling like it's like there's a version of you that has like achieved or created that that empire for yourself, whatever it is that you've been working on. And that right now is a time when, with the Hanged Man coming out, Right now is the time to see things from a different perspective. So to see things from the perspective of like this, your higher self. Okay, anything else? Yeah, we've got the 8 of Cups at the bottom. There's definitely the energy of walking away from something, but you're pretty certain about it. And I feel that this is a good move for you. There is no guarantee about what the outcome is, or I get the feeling that you're still unsure about what the outcome is going to be, but don't hold on too much to what the end result is or what the outcome is going to be. Just make this move because it's part of what you need to do to get what you want to start manifesting in this like new phase. So thank you for being here. If this is your first time here, please make sure that you subscribe so that your energy is imprinted on the channel. We can get some readings that are more tailored to your energy. If you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for being here. Please make sure that you like the video if it resonated with you. And please feel free to comment what did resonate with you, and ask for clarity on anything. If you have any questions that you want me specifically to ask, or something that you want me to pray over, please let me know and I'll be happy to help. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in the next reading. Bye. Thank you for being here. Pile number 3. If you're here, you picked the Howlite heart, and the card is the Waxing Moon, which is says the energy is gaining momentum. All right. So if you've watched any of the other readings that I did in February, you will know that Howlite is actually a stone that is great for setting boundaries, setting healthy boundaries. However, it has also been used in some of my readings as a warning not to build a wall around your heart, okay? Boundaries, remember, are not for pushing people away, but they're just for making sure that we are interacting with people in a way that is safe for all of us. And then we have the Waxing Moon card. The energy is gaining momentum. Let me go ahead and read that for us. During the waxing moon cycle, hope springs eternal. This card is a very positive omen, indicating that you can create the reality you're dreaming of, though it will take some work and you're not quite there yet. This is a time of energies rising up. Emotions are building too. Where do you want to go and where do you want to go, and do you believe you can get there? Either you can just Sorry, I'm having a little bit of trouble with this one. Either you can just keep meditating and focusing on your desired outcome, or you can make the courageous commitment to take more practical steps toward your goals. Whichever you decide, you are most certainly on the right track. The advice here is, I know I'm headed in the right direction. This situation is full of potential. Your dreams can come true. More effort is yet required. Are you willing to give it? Review your goals and ensure you're still committed. Keep moving forward. So let's get right into it. There's definitely some big energy coming in. We're talking about momentum. There's definitely movement. So I'm going to go ahead and shuffle these cards and ask for what it is that you are supposed to be releasing as you are preparing for the new moon and the new year, the new astrological year. We have the 5 of Wands. 5 of Wands talks about competition. I don't necessarily see this as like arguments, but you may have like a competitive nature to you. So when you see other people doing well, it kind of like pushes you to, there's good things and bad things about that. Sometimes it pushes you to do better, and to like put your best out there in a way that like, you end up winning. But right now you're definitely working on releasing that feeling of competition. So I do feel like it has to do a lot with, I feel like that it goes hand in hand with jealousy in a way. But when we're talking about, like in relation to this waxing moon card, I think that, it's hard for you to manifest the things that you want if you're like always in competition with somebody else, because you're busy looking at what they're doing instead of focusing on what you're doing. And so I do feel like there's an air of that here, that you're maybe paying attention too much to what other people are doing and not enough on your own goals. Okay, we've got the Four of Swords, and we also have the Knight of Cups. I'm definitely seeing that you're burnt out and needing to take a rest. And this may be contributing to some depression and anxiety. So that's interesting, because I feel that that's what happens when we're in competition with other people. We feel that we can't ever take a rest because we're watching how much progress they're making, and it makes us nervous to stop, because we don't want them to overcome us, like to basically overtake us and like do like have them win. Yeah, we've got the Chariot right here in reverse. This is definitely about needing to set boundaries in your mind, like what you think about. Yeah, I definitely think that you are exhausted because you are focusing too much on what other people are doing, and that is making you feel that you're in competition with them somehow. But I do sense a feeling of depression and like just burnout. Some of you may be neurodivergent watching this and feeling that, feeling that mental exhaustion. Maybe there's like something that you just like cannot stop thinking about. It's something that's been like nagging at your mind, and so even though you're supposed to be focusing on other things, or going to work, going to school, going to hang out with your family, whatever it is, you're missing out on things, and you're like not doing everything that you should do or want to do, because this thing is kind of like overtaking everything in your mind. Let me go ahead and get the Mermaid Tarot deck out, because I did use these for the last two readings. And I like the Mermaid Tarot deck because it really, it's really helpful for overcoming big emotions. So like it definitely helps me figure things out when I'm a little bit depressed, burnt out, exhausted. So we're going to just ask for a little bit of clarity here. What's the clarity for the Five of Wands? Yeah, we've got the Five of Cups in reverse. I think you're debating whether you should be moving on from something. And so that's why it's like all your attention is kind of going toward that. And you're not really sure. It's kind of like you have to take this like leap of faith that if you it's like a choice you have to make. Maybe it's not even leaving something behind, but it's having to make a choice between like one thing and another thing, or like one world and another world. And I I feel like you're needing to take your time to decide what it is that you want from this. Yeah, we've got the Devil card. So it's like you're definitely kind of stuck and stagnant right now, because of this other thing that's like occupying all of your time. We've got the Knight of Cups in reverse. Again, this is the second time that we've had it come out in reverse. Okay, so I definitely think that that this being stuck right now is really the thing that's causing you the most depression, and that you need to get some clarity of mind. So for some of you, that's going to look like taking a bath, you know, showering and like energetically, like cleansing things away so that you can actually think a little more clearly. For some of you, you may decide to do like a little Palo Santo or something to cleanse your aura. You may work with your angels to cleanse your aura. You may go out on a walk or something to do that. I feel like you need to gain some mental clarity here because you're feeling a little bit stuck and unable to move, like unable to make a move. And I do feel that this is like related to like paying attention too much to what other people are doing instead of to, you know, what you're doing or trying to do things in the same ways that everybody else is doing when that's just not the way that you operate. For clarification for the Four of Swords, I have the King of Wands in reverse. There's something creative that you should be working on that you are not. But the reason is it's not just because like, oh, I'm just not doing it. It's because you're like tired, so that's dampening your inspiration in a certain way. And I feel it because you know you don't have this outlet right now, you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed. Yep. 10 of Wands. This is overwhelm if I've ever seen it. Yeah, you're feeling overwhelmed because you're unable to work on your creative things right now, or like whatever it is that you've been wanting to create. And that's because you're stuck. You're stuck in this feeling of depression, and that's, you know, kind of clouding your mind, and that's okay. That happens to everyone. So right now it would be a good time to do like some sort of like cleansing ritual for you, I think. And then just like be patient and give it time because it'll reveal itself to you, I believe, over the next week or so. Take care of your body. You've got the Tower in reverse. I do feel that that's kind of like the advice you have here right now, is that you really have to take care of yourself. For some of you, you may be having like a sore throat, like swollen lymph nodes. You may have like a sinus infection or like sinus pain or like a headache, migraine. I feel that there's like you're battling things with your health right now, and it is related to being so stressed and overwhelmed. So right now is a time to focus on your own body. Give yourself a break for feeling uninspired. We're going through all kinds of cycles. Overwhelm and stress is a thing that seems to be hurting you the most right now. So doing your best to release that will put you in a place where you're no longer looking around at what other people are doing. You're just like focusing on yourself and working on creating your own things. So that brings us back to this howlite, you know, the boundaries that need to be set. It's you kind of need to set the boundary for yourself. You need to avoid anything that's going to cause you stress at this moment. It's not that we just avoid stress all the time, but right now it seems like this is something that would really benefit you, so you can get clear on what it is that you want and what it is that you're doing moving forward. Okay, so remember to check back in next week for the next reading. Thank you so much for being here for this one. If this is your first time here, make sure that you subscribe so that I have your energy imprinted on the channel, and I can actually tailor these readings more to you. If you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for being here. Please like this video if it did resonate with you, and make sure that you comment anything that is actually like that you need clarification on, so that I can also ask about that in the next reading as well. And if there's something that you want me to pray over, or just anything you want to tell me about what has resonated with you in this reading, please feel free to do so in the comments, and I will see you for the next reading. Goodbye.